Hey there, everyone. This is the Shadow Ranger. I want to be back with another video. This is actually going to be a combination of two other topics that I want to talk about. First, it's going to be a partial continuation of my partial rant from my final resolution review concerning Robbie E and the X Division, and it's also going to combine another topic that I wanted to talk about. So, here we go. It annoys me to hear so many people in the IWC shit on Robbie E. People talking about how the X Division is dead because he's champion. And I've yet to hear one person give a logical, thought-out explanation of why this is. And they talk about him not being a great wrestler. You know what? Not everybody's great. Some people are just good. He puts on decent matches. He doesn't botch everything. Okay, so he ain't Shawn Michaels, but who is? He has a somewhat corny gimmick. We've been seeing corny gimmicks forever. Many people have become big stars with corny gimmicks. So a guy can't have a corny gimmick in wrestling anymore? Dang. You know, my overall complaint with people bitching about Robbie E is that this is another example of TNA giving fans what they say they want and still complaining about it. I'll reiterate this again. You know, he's not in his 40s. He's not an ex-WWE guy. He's feuding with Jay Lethal, so he's not feuding with an old guy. You know, you got two young guys, a clear-cut babyface and a clear-cut heel. There's none of that weird tweener stuff or this ambiguity of this guy has a point, this guy has a point. You have a clear-cut babyface, a clear-cut heel having a feud for the X Division title, which is what so many people have always said they wanted. So many people used to complain about how the X Division title was always in these big, giant, multi-man spot fest matches instead of having real feuds. But now you have a legitimate feud, clear-cut babyface, clear-cut heel. It gets built up on television. They do go to the pay-per-view. They have decent matches. They haven't had a bad match. Robbie hasn't had one bad match in TNA. Every match he's done has been good. They're not great, but he's a young dude. He's early in his career. I just don't... There is no logical reason to complain about this guy. So you don't like his gimmick? Alright, maybe they'll tweak his gimmick a little bit. I don't think they should. I'm not a Jersey Shore fan. I've never watched it. I have no desire to. But the reason I don't think his gimmick should be changed is because it's funny. It's humorous. And it's something I think wrestling is missing, and something I think TNA needs a little bit more of. The second topic that I mentioned that I was going to talk about, that I decided to just integrate these two into one video, is the fact that I think TNA should be more PG. Now, I know a lot of you are going to get angry and are probably are going to click off the video, but if you haven't already been ignorant and just clicked off the video right now, please take a minute and I'm going to explain what I mean. I'm not talking about WWE corny stuff. I am not talking about cartoony crap and hornswoggle and swagger soaring eagles. No. But there is a distinct market to be made in marketing a product to kids. Because kids beg for stuff and parents will buy it. Marketing to kids is a smart idea. I'm not saying make the whole show PG. Take one aspect of the show and make that PG. And I think the PG part of TNA should be the X Division. Something about me. I'm 25. And ever since I was a little kid, one of my all-time favorite shows has been Power Rangers. I still watch the show to this day. It's been on for 17 years, 700 episodes, and I've seen every episode. This year, I've actually even been rewatching them and just enjoying a lot of old episodes from my childhood. It's just a fun kid show that I've always liked. But I've never been a merchandise kind of guy. There's things I like, but I never buy merchandise for anything. So while I've always loved the show, I never bought any of the toys. Now my cousin, who's 8 years younger than me, when he was a little kid, he also absolutely loved Power Rangers. And he, like regular little kids, begged for every Power Ranger toy there was until his mom and dad bought him. Every birthday, every Christmas, he got a bunch of Power Ranger action figures because he would beg and beg, please mom, dad, buy me Power Ranger toys. And he had all the toys. Every single mountains of Power Ranger toys. He was a little kid. He saw something he liked. He begged for it. His parents bought him. And what did that do? That put money into the pockets of the people who sold Power Ranger toys, which is a company called Bandai. And you can see that with pro wrestling. Look at Rey Mysterio. How many little kids buy those freaking Rey Mysterio masks and Jeff Hardy armbands when they were in WWE? That's a market that TNA could capitalize on. Again, I'm not saying make the whole show PG. Make one part of it PG. That's why on Sunday's pay-per-view, when I saw Shark Boy come out and have his interaction with Robbie and Cookie, I looked at that and I saw something fun. You know, little kid, what you and I, most people who listen to this video, probably adults, we see Robbie E fighting Shark Boy. We're just gonna call it corny. Alright? And a 7-year-old kid watches that, they're gonna think it's funny as all hell and like it and want to see it. Kids have always been the group that like Xdivision style stuff more. When I was a kid, I watched WCW, and my favorite part was the cruiserweights. The high-flying, the fast-paced cruiserweight Xdivision juniors wrestling type thing has always appealed more to kids. Little kids love it. I live in South Korea. I work as an English teacher. And last year, I worked at elementary schools. I teach adults mostly now. And last year, I was doing summer school classes with some of the kids. These are 11, 12, 13-year-old kids, mostly boys. We had break time during summer school classes because we're there for several hours a day. And we wanted something fun to do during break time, but we weren't allowed to go outside and play. So I asked them what they wanted to do. They said they wanted to watch wrestling. So I brought up some, with the YouTube, brought up some TNA stuff, showed us some Xdivision matches. Now, TNA doesn't have much of a presence in Korea. WWE is big here. They all love WWE. Actually, if you go through my YouTube page, I have some videos called Korean WWE Fan. You can just see, I got a couple videos of that, and them just imitating all their favorite WWE wrestlers. They know all the WWE guys. They love Undertaker too. But none of them knew what TNA was. So when I showed them to it, they first were disappointed because it wasn't WWE. They didn't know who any of these guys was. But I showed them Xdivision matches. And they loved it. I showed them a Steel Asylum match from last year. I believe it was Hard Justice 2009 was the pay-per-view. And I showed them other Xdivision matches. I showed them Ultimate X matches. I showed them Steel Asylum. I just showed them lots of Xdivision matches. And they loved it. They went crazy for it. You could just see them just glued to the TV screen as they were watching. Just, ooh, 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 look at that, look at that. They loved it. They went nuts for it. You know why? They're little kids. These are 11, 12, 13-year-old kids. They don't know anything about gimmicks and ring psychology and spots and no selling. They just saw a bunch of wrestlers doing really cool moves that they'd never seen before, and they loved it. And every day after that, they begged me to show them more. Every chance we got some break time, they show us some more, show us more. They loved it. They saw the machine guns and went nuts for him. They saw Suicide, thought he looked cool. For a moment, they thought he was Spider-Man, but I had to explain to them he wasn't. But still, they saw him wrestle. They loved it. They loved the fast-paced action. They loved the Xdivision. But they also like characters. Kids buying the character. That's why they all buy Rey Mysterio masks. This is a market that I think TNA could really capitalize on and bring something up. I really think that they've gone the opposite direction of trying to appeal to adults so much when it's better to appeal to kids. Remember, if an adult buys a ticket to a show, you only sell one ticket. If a kid wants to go to a show, That's multiple tickets. Think about it. Little kid wants to go to the show. He can't go by himself. An adult has to take him. So that's 2 tickets sold right there. You gotta buy a ticket for the kid, a ticket for the adult. The kid's gonna get there. At some point, the kid's gonna get hungry and thirsty. So you gotta go to the concession stand and buy the kid something to eat. When you go to the concession stand, the kid's gonna see merchandise. He's gonna want to buy it. Every little kid that goes to WWE, every one of those little kid John Cena fans, they gotta you gotta buy a ticket for the kid, a ticket for the parent or the adult that's gonna take them. Then you gotta spend money at the concession stands to get them food. Then the kid's gonna want a Cena hat, a Cena shirt, a Cena armband, every bit of Cena gear he can get. You see those little kids in the audience? They got on Cena shirts, Cena hats, You Can't See Me armbands, fucking C Nation Never Give Up gear, Cena everything. Those little kids, they don't have any money. Some adult with money had to spend their money to buy that kid that stuff. And that's why they make so much money off of John Cena merchandise. Everybody talk about how WWE won't turn John Cena heel because they don't want to lose out on all that merchandise money. Exactly. It would be stupid of them to turn him heel. He's a freaking gold mine. TNA could have a gold mine like that. You promote those high-flying X-Division guys. You bring in maybe a couple of luchadors or some people with colorful characters. You know why? You could imagine if Robbie E were a babyface that little kids liked. With that corny jersey gimmick. You could sell Robbie E armbands. You could sell Robbie E freaking those little corny glasses with the colored rims and stuff you wear. You know, they could be selling Shark Boy masks, Shark Boy t-shirts. Imagine that. You get Shark Boy moreover. Now, you get little kids wanting to see Shark Boy. Now little kids want to come by shows to see Shark Boy. They're going to want a Shark Boy mask. They're going to want a Shark Boy t-shirt. You sell freaking Shark Boy. You just make up dumb gear and put Shark Boy on it. Little kids will buy it. Little kids will beg their parents for anything. And they're going to beg until their parents buy it. And now you made a bunch of money.